Falcon Sledge. I'm Austringer and you are watching Single Player Playthrough. Today we are flying the MISC Prospector and Star Citizen, and we are on the moon Yella. And we are looking to do some mining today. I have been doing rock mining in the past, but on 3.11, which is the patch that was recently released for Star Citizen, there are a few things that make rock mining a little bit on the, we'll say, annoying side. So I thought that it would be a good idea to get a really nice video out there about what it's like to do prospector mining. There's a few more rules to follow when it comes to prospector mining than there is with rock mining. For example, when you find a rock, when you're rock mining, most of the time, or well, all the time, the rock is almost pure whatever the stuff that you're finding there, whether it's hadnite or dolomite or whatever. When it comes to prospector mining and mole mining, it's the same. The rocks are far more diverse, which is also to say you're going to find a lot of rocks that you aren't going to mine. So just like with the rock mining, we're using our scanner to find deposits, and then when we get to the deposits, we're going to scan them. Now, in my previous videos on aerial, we didn't scan them because all of the rocks at the time on aerial were hadonite. So I didn't have to worry about that. I just found the diamonds and mined them. Here, that's not the same. There is a huge variety of types of rocks that I will find. I shouldn't say huge, but considerably larger. So what we're looking for is, there's several things. The primary things we're going to find are agricium, laranite, and also quantanium. When we get quantanium, that's a signal we are going to sell, regardless of how full we are, because quantanium is volatile. And look at this, our first rock that contains agricium. So on the left side, we have some of the statistics about how large the rock is. The instability of the rock, the power transfer rate, what does that say there? The optimal power window, and that's a range. And then on the right side, we have the name of the rock, the name of the first content. The most valuable of contents, by the way, will always be on the top. If you are scanning it and you see gold, you see diamond, you see aluminum, you see anything else, copper, that first slot, you already know that it's not going to be good. There's no point in scanning it anymore. Agricium, its composition is 13.06 to 43.80. I've never seen them anywhere but the minimal number, and we're going to switch over to the mining tool. And look at that, 13.06. I don't know if that's a bug, or if in this case that higher number means something different. Feel free to let me know how wrong I am in the comments down below. So, without further ado, let's mine this thing, shall we? And yes, that is a phrase that another YouTuber uses quite frequently, and I am a big fan of his channel. If you know who that is, also in the comment section down below. So I have a helix head on this mining tool, which is the most powerful laser. It is not the most stable laser, but it is the most powerful. So when you're wanting to mine rocks of this size, the most powerful head is something that it's really required. And when it comes down to the prospector, you really need the power, the throughput that this thing has. When you're using things like the mole, you could mix and match heads to get different buffs, so to speak, out of them. And we've messed around with that. But in the end, we've discovered just using two helix heads just works better. You get a nice wider green area, or the optimal area there. You can see the green bar. It widens with the helix head. The only things that you don't like is that it's a little bit less stable, and if you do get it into the red and it gets to the point where it explodes, it's going to hurt, and it's going to blow the rock to pieces, and you're probably going to lose some of the stuff inside of it. So you got to be a bit more careful with the helix, especially on the second break. The second break, also something you did not have to deal with on the rock. You only had to break them once, and as long as you broke them without overcharging it, you were good. They were all going to fall real close, no problem, right? Well, in this case, in most of the chunks that we break off here, we are actually going to have a second break. So let's take a look at this. Now we're scanning the second chunk, or the rocks produced from the first break, as I call it. You can call it whatever you like. And if there's an official term for it, feel free to let me know what it is. So let's see what we got here. Aha, there's the chunk we really want to see. Now this is something that is also different from the rock mining. If you're coming from my rock mining video, you're not going to have everything 100%, so you're going to get some inert materials. We don't like inert materials. So, in order to get a good load back, we have to try to mine only the more pure samples. Lucky for us, that's all of these out of this chunk. So let's get those first. And this time I'm being much more delicate with the laser, slowly rolling the throttle on. And I guess I could go a little faster, but remember, this is very unstable and can fluctuate. We don't want to get it into the red. So we'll just roll it back and forth, kind of just help that get to the 100%. There we are. So we need the extractor now, because we know that all of these pieces out of this chunk are all 100% agricium. Oh, look at all that sweet agricium. Truthfully, agricium is not the most valuable of all of the stuff you'll get. In fact, there is a site called SC Trader, and if you go to the mining section and then click on, there's a button that has the identification of the rocks that you'll find. It has kind of a hierarchy. I'll usually mine high concentrations of any of the yellow, and then medium concentrations of anything in the green, and pretty much any quantanium that I can get, particularly if I've already got a pretty good load of stuff on board. If it's like a 1% quantanium rock, then I might not. Usually I'm hoping for a 5%. But in this case right here, we are going to have half of our hold full of pure agricium, which is not bad. It sells in the high 20s. So let's see what we got here. That's aluminum. We may have got all the agricium out of this rock. Usually when you find a first break 100%, oh, look at that, proven wrong, 8%. Now this one may not really give us any rocks that we're going to keep, because 8%, that could be spread across all of the small breaks, in which case we would not harvest it. But if it all breaks off into one piece, we would totally take this. So let's break this one. One other thing that the Helix does is it makes the fracturing sensor go up really fast. That's a big advantage, and when you're running 2 of these things on a mole, or 3 of them, they really fill up that bar fast, and you don't have to worry about keeping it in that green area for very long. So that's a huge advantage. 21.5% agricium. I'm going to take this one. I'm really trying to keep as little inert as I can, but 20%, anything over 20 I'm going to take. 20's pretty good. But nothing under 20 for agricium. Laranite, I would take anything over 10. Nope, see, that's it. So let's switch off of our mining laser, switch back to our sensors, and get back to looking. In 3.12, they're going to be introducing new UI for mining, so I may do another quick video just to go over the new UI. I've seen it and it looks really good. There are a few bugs that are present in this current mining UI that I don't like, and those will be resolved there. And of course, I'll just wait for the new one to come out and do a video then, just to show you the neat differences, rather than whine and complain about the things that I don't like about this one. Who wants to be whining to anyway? Flying around in the Prospector, I fly around in VTOL mode, and that is so that it's a little bit easier to maneuver, and also I can just thrust vertically to really get out of the way if I overcharge something. Pesky worthless gold. Saying on Earth today. But the truth of it is, gold is not that uncommon in the universe, or even in our solar system. If you really get down to it, it's not that uncommon here on Earth, but it's uncommon enough and used in enough things that it is extremely valuable. Diamonds are a similar thing. Well, diamonds really aren't that uncommon here on Earth, but you know, we won't go into the economics of diamond pricing on this video. Feel free to leave comments down below if you really want me to go over the economics of diamonds. But the truth of the matter is, this is a flight channel, not an economics channel, so don't expect much. Alright, we've got, see, that one's titanium, not useful. Let's scan this one. Gold, nope. Gold, nope. Having some lag here. Him 2%. Is not very high, but if it was all in one piece, that wouldn't be bad at all. I'm not picking that one up. Oh, that's because that one is not a rock we want to scan. Good. Well, let's pop this one and see if it goes all into one piece. The initial break is going to be an important one here. If we find the Agricium ending up in one chunk, then there's a decent chance that we might be mining some of the pieces. If I see it spread across all of the pieces, then I'll probably just bail out. Because if they're spread against a bunch of pieces, there's going to be 0.2 here, 0.3 here, really bad. There are consumables that I could use to make the energy level go up faster, or dump a bunch of energy out of the rock if I overcharge or something like that. I don't generally use those things, just because they cut into my overhead. Instead, on rocks like this that are large, 8300 is pretty good for me. I just wait. I wait to cook the rock and get it hot enough. And on really unstable ones, yeah, I just make sure that I'm Johnny on the spot on changing my power levels. Again, I'm using a mouse that has a button that I can push that makes it so there's no detent in the mouse wheel. So that allows me to quickly scroll up and down the charge levels. A better thing to use would be to use some kind of a, instead of a relative control, it would be what's the word? A direct control, like a slider or something like that, where it's not relative. Well, we're looking good so far. Is this our Agricium? Nope. So where is it? It's got to be somewhere here, because I haven't found it. That's gold. Is there a piece down here? Sometimes there can be pretty sliver-like pieces in here, and that could be what we're looking at here. So let's keep looking until we can find this piece. There it is, right there. 9%. Well, it comes down to one piece maybe, but we'd have to burn up all of these top pieces to get that uncovered. Yeah, most of that is underground too. See, I can't get that piece. We are not going to do this rock. It's too much time. Oh, hello. Hopefully I didn't break anything off. We're okay. Any bump you can walk away from is a good bump. In order to get a good load in the Prospector, you kind of have to be picky. So, mining that tiny little bit of Agricium, though I could have got in there and one of the chunks would have been 100, because they were also underground, it meant that I was going to need to mine all of the surface deposits, and it is a possibility that all of the Agricium would actually be underground and completely inaccessible to me. So for such a low amount of Agricium, I decided to move on because it would be more efficient time-wise. And one trick to being able to scan these a bit further, shout out to Warded Man who gave me this. You can actually shoot them. It works pretty well. It usually will allow you to scan them a bit further. Sometimes you have to nearly pass over some of these things to get them to scan, so it's nice to not have to do that. So let's see what this switch log. I missed that one. Okay, this is a 2.35% Agricium spot. Hopefully, it's kind of a small rock actually, but yeah, hopefully it won't be as difficult to get to the Agricium as that last rock was. Prospector is the field of view is really good. Hey Misk, take that for a suggestion for your other ships like the Freelancer, where you're trying to drive it like it's a tank, looking through a slat. Where's our Agresium?
Scan complete.
Show me all the Agresium in one chunk.
Scan complete.
It's looking good so far. It's not spread out over all the parts.
Scan complete.
There it is.
Scan
Should be
complete.
all in one spot here. So we'll throw some heat at this thing. Get that nice and warm. There we are. Now, let's see if we can get ourselves some high percentage. Oh, I like seeing inert materials. That means it's going to be mostly in one. Or all in one. Yeah, all of it's going to be in this chunk right here. 182 kilograms of pure Agresium. 71.76%. Not quite pure, but you know. Yeah, see, there's the last of it. We'll make sure that there's none in this chunk right here, but I don't think there will be any. Nope. Go back here. Alright, what did we leave off on? 87%. So we may only get one more rock worth in here, but I think we're pretty good so far. We gotta run more. Let's take a look. Oh, it's okay. Just a little bit of heat. That's snow below us. It's pretty freezing cold out there, so the heat can't be that bad. What do we have here? Worthless gold. What is there? Probably, 500 kilograms of gold in there. I'd like that right about now. Diamonds, 3%. Again, I'll take that as well. Well, I already mined this piece, so... or somebody else did. Hopefully we're not rehashing. This one is, we will be able to get it through further away. I'd like to scan this. This weather is suitable, or so it is for my environment that I'm having outside right now. It was snowing earlier today for the first time this year, and it's been 30 degrees out, so pretty fun. As some of you have probably seen on my channel, I'm also a falconer, so when it gets cold, the birds migrate from the north and they start moving south, and during that time, falconers trap first-year birds for use in falconry, and so the cold temperatures arriving is a good thing for us because it means that we've got birds available to us. If you are looking for falconry information, or if it's something you're interested in, look up a channel, a good friend of mine and my mentor in falconry, Ben Woodruff. He has excellent videos, they're very informative. Some of my birds are even in them. Alright. Keep a sharp eye out. There's a couple over here. More than a couple. Should find what we're looking for right here, folks. And if we don't, we shall be very upset. Titanium. Very useful material, but it is not what we're looking for. Did I jinx us by saying that what we were looking for is here? Well, we've got 9% there. That's a pretty good rock. This is a pretty good rock. Let's go. Give her some laser.
Scan initiated. Scan complete.
Right, so let's see what we have here. Well, we've got 63% agresium in that rock, which is pretty good. That might be the only one that we're going to need to mine. Of course, now that I say that, we're going to find one with like 3% agresium in here.
Scan initiated.
Nope. Not jinxed. Let's do this.
Scan complete.
Good so far. It's hidden right back there, isn't it? Almost 100%. 96 kilograms. Up here. I guess we didn't get. I wish we could dump off some of our stuff, but unfortunately you just can't now. So we are full. We could have maybe got a little bit more pure, but I don't think it'll be too bad. Let's go see what our results are. Gain some altitude, and we are going to jump back to Fort Hope. Of course, we are gonna see how active Porto is. What I will usually do is jump back to Crusader, because I have found that oftentimes pirates will camp the approach from Yellow to Porto, because it's one of the most popular mining locations. So if I come in from the other side, I'll likely be able to get into the armistice area. Some might say, well, geez, why don't you just fight them? Prospectors don't fight. Unless somebody's not paying attention, then you can just helix them. But I'm afraid that whoever was there... Another tip that I could give you if you were coming in on a very live Port Olisar is to get inside the armistice zone and get onto a pad that doesn't belong to you, and just allow your ship to be impounded. Alright, we're looking for fighters. That's a Prospector. Doesn't look like we got any bandits this time. So let's get pad.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Put the gear down. It's looking pretty good. And another Prospector there. Alright.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Let's go see how much we made. Perfect landing, come on. I'm not far forward on the pad or anything. Alright, we arrived at the refinery. Sometimes it takes a moment to show your ship, but look at that, 70,181. Not too bad, only 13% inert. It's sad because, you know, we probably could have done a bit better. Like if I didn't pick up those two 20% rocks, and instead I was able to finish that 100% rock we had at the end. But the difference wouldn't have been significant. Either way, it's pretty decent money. It is not as efficient as the Rock. Even with the issues that the Rock has been having, I would still say that it is more efficient time-wise than the Prospector. However, the Prospector's play loop is, in my opinion, a little bit more enjoyable than the Rock's, with the issues that the Rock has been facing recently. So, if you enjoyed this content, please send me a like and subscribe to my channel, because that really helps things out. It really helps to grow people's channel to do so. And please, give me a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know how you think I've done, good or bad. And I hope you have a great day.